honestly, I feel some type of way. And you know who did it? Netflix. Okay, so before I get into that, if you're old to this channel, welcome back, guys. It's been a long time since I've posted, been very inconsistent lately. But if you're new, welcome to the channel. Let's become a family. Let's have these chats. I'm going to start being really consistent because life is getting back on track for myself. Now, back to what I was saying. Okay, you know who's being real fake and they're playing with it? Netflix. So, yes, you've seen it. You've seen the screen. You've seen this video. You know what I'm about to talk about. Virgin River Season 5 is releasing in a couple of hours. It might be posted about midnight. Sometimes they play with it as well. But Netflix will be posting Virgin River Season 5 in a couple of hours. And we've yet to get a trailer. We've yet to get any teasers. We got something on their social media, but they're playing with it, knowing how they ended the last season. And the reason why I'm upset is because we've had all these different little cliffhangers that we don't know what's going on. We don't know how the season's gonna pick up. And sometimes the teasers that they might drop, it gives you a little inkling as to the character vibe for the new season, what you can expect. You're able to get excited. They do all of that with their other shows like Bridgerton and Queen Charlotte. Why were they playing with it with Virgin River? Okay, if you guys already didn't know, I'm a huge Virgin River fan. I love it. I recently went to the library and I got all the Robin Carr books, so I'm going to be starting that as well. Maybe I'll give you guys an update on what I think. But with Virgin River, let me run this back. Okay, so the way that season 4 ended, we know that Mel is pregnant. We don't know who her baby daddy is. Second, Jack, he had a little bit of a drinking problem. Mel gave him she gave him a piece of her mind and told him to step up or shut up, put up, or be gone. Then we have Preacher, and he had a little love interest thing going on with the woman who was doing that yoga class, that yoga instruction for him. But then Paige came back into the picture. And when she showed up, baby, okay, it was crazy. She knocked on his door and he literally has been developing this relationship with this lady. And she showed up, and we all know how Preacher feels about Paige. So we don't know what's going to happen with their relationship dynamics either. And then you have Christopher, her son, who's really attached to Preacher. What does that look like if he were to move on? Who knows? Last, and certainly not the least, y'all know what I'm going to say. We don't know who Charmaine's baby father is. Okay? Let's talk about that. So I have to stand up for this, y'all, because y'all don't understand. You don't understand the way that I'm feeling about this, because Charmaine gets on my last nerves. I cannot stand Charmaine. Ever since season 1, let's run that back as well. So season 1, Charmaine has to be in her late 30s, okay? She's been around the block. She knows how things go. She knows how relationship dynamics work and situationships, friends with benefits, etc. Her and Jack are down there, okay? They're smashing. He's doing drive-by meetings to go get some from her. Then she ends up all up in her feelings once Mel and Jack are seeming to have these feelings for each other. Number 1, when did Jack ever say that he was in a committed relationship with her? 2, you are a grown woman. If a man is coming to your house between the hours of 10 and 7 o'clock in the morning, you already know. I know you peeped that, but my microphone died, so I had to switch out. But we're all adults. We all know that nothing productive happens between the hours of 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. And it might actually be until 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? Let's be clear. So Charmaine, she knew what it was, and what I couldn't stand about her is that she wanted to play victim. She wanted to act as though she didn't know that her and Jack were in a situationship that he would slide through whenever the time was right, whenever she was ready, and they would get down with the get down. They would be freaky in them sheets. And she ended up getting pregnant, and then she all of a sudden became a victim, like she didn't know that they were friends of benefits, that they weren't in a relationship. And so when Jack met Mel, Linda Monroe, Mel, she was living in California. She was a successful nurse. She was married to, the fun fact is the guy who plays her husband is actually Elijah from the Vampire Diaries and the originals. 1 second, guys. I have a picture with Elijah from the Vampire Diaries in the originals. Her husband, he actually died in a car crash, and she feels as though she was responsible for it because she was pushing his buttons a little bit. We see in the show that she was having an argument with him, and then he didn't see the car when it crashed into them and he died. So she moves to this little town called Virgin River. There she's embraced by the community, and she actually begins to heal and go through that process of mourning and grief. And then she meets Jack, and they really just connect on a deeper level because he also has some trauma. He's an army vet, and they just get each other's trauma. Not that they fell in love with each other because of the trauma, but they just allowed each other to have that space and that grace to deal with their own problems, and they weren't being forced to push through and, you know, just to commit to something even though they weren't ready. So what I like about their relationship, and I can see how they grew organically, was that they started off as friends and also as two individuals who have their own baggage, and they're just trying to work through it, and they're just like, you know what? Let's just enjoy each other's company. Let's just see how this goes on a friendship basis, and let's just see how life goes. Charmaine didn't like that because she was always pushing Jack for a relationship, and that's why I do think that there's something to be said for things happening organically and for relationships just to take their course, as, you know, you just see if you guys mesh well together. So yeah, anyways, Mel, she and Jack, they really connect, and you see that from season 1 to the end of season 1. But when she finds that Charmaine is pregnant, she had lost a child, and she doesn't know that she can deal with Jack's baggage anymore. So all the way from season 1 to season 4, you really see her and Jack struggling and trying to figure everything out, and really seeing if they can make a relationship work despite all the different challenges. So Charmaine, she's just pissed off because Jack is with Mel and he doesn't want to be with her in that way. He's like, I'll take care of my child, because she ends up getting pregnant, as I said, and Mel finds out, and he's just like, I'll be there for my child, but me and you, we're not having a relationship. So Charmaine has made Jack's life a living hell. She's done so many different things that I would perceive as problematic. Playing victim, then she started dating this guy, Todd. It was really questionable with the timeline, and she was even like having Todd come and see Jack and seeing if he can give up his parental rights before the babies are even born, before she's even showing. Then she was like showing Jack up with her new boyfriend Todd, who's rich, and just doing all these things that are just mad corny. They're just mad corny. Can't stand her. We end season 4. Again, we see like these pivotal moments left on these cliffhangers. We don't know what's going to happen. Charmaine, she's having these like, I didn't know if they were Braxton Hicks at first, but she's like doubled over in pain, and then she's like, Jack, like, I think something's wrong. So he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, it's me, like, I did it. My babies, I'm losing my babies because how I did you. And he's like, what do you mean? She said, the babies aren't yours. Bro. I was in my living room screaming like nobody's business. Also, yes, Charmaine is having twins. So I'm like, who the heck is the baby's father? Who is the baby's father? So Jack, he's just like startled. It ends like that. That was it. Before that scene, you had Preacher. Paige had knocked on his front door. She had came back. Mel, you don't know who her baby's father is. Mel's pregnant. We don't know who the baby father is because when her and Jack were having issues with the whole Charmaine thing and just all the different drama that they had, she went back to California to go visit her sister. And then before she went back to Virgin River, she freaking visited an IVF clinic, which made no sense. IVF clinics are not some McDonald's or Burger King drive-thru. You can't just be like, hey, I'm on my way to get some IVF today. I'm gonna have a number 1, number 2, and a little bit of sperm. It don't work like that, okay? You can't just go get an embryo put up inside you just because you wanna make a pit stop on your way home. It don't work like that. Again, we have all these different things. Paige is back, and she had to leave because she accidentally killed her her ex-husband, who was an abusive, ridiculous pompous jerk. She killed him. Preacher helped to cover it up. She had to run up out of town, left Christopher with Preacher. And then again, Charmaine, we don't know who her baby's daddy is. Mel, we don't know who her baby daddy is. We're gonna have an amazing season. And I'm so excited that you guys join me because I'm gonna break every episode down with some commentary and a review, and we're gonna have a great time. So, I know I left you guys with a lot of different information, but get excited because in a couple of hours, Virgin River is live on Netflix. Check it out, meet me back here, drop a comment, subscribe, and like this video. Until next time.